Next review.
Wow.
Palmer.
Like Palmer.
Jesus.
Easy. Easy, yo. Y'all move swift, y'all move.
Yo. Big up cameraman Alex.
Cameraman Alex is
Alex
done
is
now.
out here moving like Tarantino and stuff, man. Like John Williams is making master.
Hey, y'all move different.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
move
different now.
different.
Yeah. Palmer.
Yeah, me.
Right. Justin Timberlake.
Justin. Sorry.
Okay.
That's like I'm a big fan of it. I mean, Justified, the album, bang though.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, no.
Fire.
no.
Bang.
It's sick.
That's a classic.
Apple movies. Apple original.
Yeah.
2021.
Out here still doing bits.
Directed by Fisher Stevens.
Yeah.
He's usually more into documentaries.
You know what?
But he's
Yeah. And you know what? When I saw his face, like when I was looking at the film on Boom Boom Boom, I saw his face that dropped under the car. So I was like, I don't remember seeing him in the. You hear me? But then I
yeah, I was like, right, okay, cool. He's done a few things as well, but more documentaries. But the one film that he's done that we'll probably know is Stand Up Guys. You seen that with Al Pacino and Christopher Walken?
No.
When they're like old school gangsters and then they decide, right, we're gonna do one more thing.
Oh, I think I remember when I don't think I watched it though.
Oh, is it?
I don't
Yeah?
think I watched. I think I remember when I dropped, but I don't think I watched it.
Yeah. So that's the
I
movie that I know that he's directed.
Okay.
But yeah, so you got the writer in this is Cheryl Guerrero. She ain't done much. She done something called Hunting Season, which did not do too well. She wrote something called Hunting Season, which didn't do too well. Obviously in this you got Justin Timberlake, who I think could be one of the most underrated actors out there.
He's serviceable.
Bruv.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's touch that for a minute because I was thinking that like he's definitely like what films was he in that was decent? I liked him in
Friends with
Social Network.
Benefits. Oh yeah. I think that's his coming out party.
Yeah,
That
and
movie.
On Time.
In Time, bro. And
In Time
on
is
top
underrated
of me thinking he being one of the most underrated actors, I think In Time is one of the most underrated films as well.
In Time was a dope film.
I
In
watched
Time
that,
was a dope film.
I finished that. I was like, fucking hell. Then when I'm looking at reviews and shit, I'm like, what? Did we watch the same movie?
No, In Time was a sick
In
film.
Time was sick.
It was a sick concept, sick film.
Sick concept,
And they pulled it
sick
off.
film,
Yeah,
bruv.
yeah.
Like, and he was dope in it. Like, big
But
film,
other than those two, I couldn't really think what
Friends with Benefits. Have you seen that?
I have, but
I think
he's good at this.
in
What I'm
that,
saying,
man.
but I think like I don't know. Maybe sometimes artists, singers, and this that like they don't really transition too tough.
Yeah.
He's still a singer. He's still a writer. Like he's still that's his passion. Maybe
so you
I don't
think,
know.
So you think if he made the full
I think
transition,
he'd be dope, bruv. Like he's got range on him. Like range on him. Range on him than most people out there that are huge actors.
I'd
range.
I'd say who else is in that bracket as well? Or maybe just a slight better than him. Common.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Common,
100%.
I think Common's in that bracket as
Big
well.
actors as well.
Common.
Like,
Considering,
and he's probably similar. He's probably similar in the sense that he's an artist, so he's still on that side. You get
Common's
me?
done one or two more bits though.
Yeah. But he's made a smooth transition, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Alicia Wainwright,
Yeah, Raising Dion.
That's the.
I like that, man. It's a good little show, man.
That's all right, man. I've seen
good
the
little
first
family
season.
show, you know?
I've seen the first season. I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't watched the second season either, actually.
I haven't seen
But
the
I've
second
first
season.
one. First one was decent.
And then the boy in this
Yeah.
is called Ryder Allen. And would you believe that this is his first
Yeah,
ever?
I see that.
First ever feature
I
film.
see that. Because I was trying to find... I wanted to watch an interview of him talking about the part.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing research, I realized like he might be too young for them to interview that
For that-
conversation. Because
yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
find anything.
Yeah.
And then when I saw little bits of him, I thought, I'm probably not going to find what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Nah, I think there was a clip with him and JT and someone else there, but it was I know because I was on the same thing as I was like, yo, how do you?
Yeah.
But I thought when you see him, like he's proper young.
He's 7.
Yeah,
in this.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
7
yeah.
years old.
And his sister's in.
Yeah,
his sister acts as
Yeah,
well.
I was about to get there. Yeah, his sister acts as well.
I saw that. Yeah, his sister was. I didn't know what she was in though, but I saw that.
I can't remember. She was in something. What was the SWAT? Is it SWAT with David Baranis with the Angel?
Something like
Angel.
yeah.
You remember
yeah.
Angel?
Yeah.
David Baranis.
He's in Bones as well, right?
Yeah, he's in some.
Yeah.
movie with like, and I think he's like a SWAT man or something. She had a role in that.
Okay, I think I remember the cover weirdly.
Yeah. Because he's like this. He's like this on the cover. That's why I was like, yeah. And obviously Juno Temple, who plays Ryder's mum.
Okay, I don't know.
Really?
I didn't recognize him.
Fucking Atonement. She's from
Okay.
Killer Joe with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, big.
Seen that.
Can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah,
now.
I didn't recognize.
But yeah, she's massive.
Did you recognize the guy
Which guy?
that was her partner, her estranged
No,
partner?
I didn't. Who was?
He
I
was
feel
in
like I
Oz.
did the one with the mullet.
Yeah, he was in Oz.
I feel like I recognized his face, but
He's
I
been
couldn't
a couple
put it to
things.
sound.
He was in John Wick. Remember
Was he?
the first John Wick? He was the guy. He was Lily Allen's brother's. The guy's
Alfie
playing
Allen.
her father. His father,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
He was like his number 2.
Oh, okay.
The father was already like, so what should I do? And he goes, hey boss, it's John Wick, man.
It's John Wick.
Yeah, he was in
Okay,
that. Like he's
okay.
been a couple things.
All
He's
right,
one of
cool.
them serviceable actors you just
Yeah.
put in.
Yeah,
He does
yeah,
the
yeah.
job. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what he needs to get off.
Do you know who I always think of when you say stuff like that is I can't remember his name. That's how bad it is. But it's the black guy who's in everything. Is that? Yeah, I think that's his name. He was in Spider-Man as well.
Yeah,
I literally
yeah,
just-
Law and Order the other day.
Yeah.
He's just there. You know when you need like a 7 out of 10 performance. Just like
Wasn't he? He was in Snowfall, no?
He did it. Yeah, I think so. I think he had a cameo part.
He might have been,
early.
yeah.
When
Early
Franklin's
doors.
uncle's like, let me bring you to someone who kind of knows the runnings
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and he was like,
Oh, yeah. I
he
think
was,
so,
he had
yeah.
like he owned
But
like
he's
a
been-
laundromat.
But he's
Oh,
been in
maybe,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, he's in everything.
He's been in everything, but had a headlining role.
yeah.
But I think life for me, I think life is probably his best.
That was he's good.
He's good in that.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that to him, man. He even speak, bro.
That's
but
why
he
he
was
was so
sick
good.
though.
No,
He
but
was sick in that.
I've seen him in films where I was impressed. I'm not gonna say
Alright,
that was his
okay,
best
alright,
one.
okay.
Yeah,
Thumping the. Yeah. All right. Cool. Should I start or none of you want to go? Palmer.
Go on, Jiff.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a very telegraphed movie, as in you could see
Yeah.
where this was going.
Definitely.
From the get-go.
From the get-go.
From the get-go, yeah.
Like
the
from
From
time.
actually the opening, I think within the first 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like,
first
all right,
announcement.
this person's coming back from this holiday.
Oh, we didn't do the synopsis
Oh, sorry, good.
because it says that in the synopsis.
Flowing like water from the silent sea. That's a knock-on effect. It's everything will flow. Yeah,
See what you did there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here all week, guys. I'm here all week.
Go on, then.
Do it like a redneck.
Boy,
Yeah, boy. You're not from around here,
You're
boy.
not from around here.
You're not
We're
from
from
around
these
here, boy.
parts,
We don't
boy.
serve your folk over here,
yeah,
boy.
boy.
I just spoke to the janitor. How you wanted to speak to the janitor.
That's a shout. That's a shout.
Like, he wanted to say something. He wanted to get
The
something.
guy at the bar,
So
really
bad,
was,
but
it was coming. You could see the words coming out of his mouth, but he just didn't say it. And I was like, say it then.
Yeah, God, say it, bitch.
I wish a motherfucker would.
Say it, motherfucker.
all right. An ex-convict strikes up a friendship with a boy with a troubled home from a troubled home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, all right, cool. Yeah, it's about right, to be fair.
To be fair. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, carry
But
on.
like we said, you get it in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it did- and I thought I got it in the first 2 minutes because I had seen the trailer. And I was almost disappointed that I saw the trailer. I was like, oh. But then I was like, nah, you get it in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, when he sent me what to watch, I was like, all right, cool. So when I'm told to watch something, I don't watch the trailer. I just go straight in. And I think that maybe helped me with this film. Even though it was very telegraphic, like you could point by point to see how this is all gonna map out.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I will say I did enjoy it. Even though I could see where it was going, but it had a few little chinks in the road, which kind of threw you off a bit. You know, like when a certain person moves on in life, and then you're like, oh snap! So
Okay,
now
okay.
you're
Because for a minute I was like, it ain't had no chinks. But
no.
that was
For
a
me,
chink.
I thought that was
a chink.
I thought that was a bit of a chink.
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect
that happened,
Just
and then
like
it's
that,
like
neither.
on him.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I didn't
Yeah.
expect that either. That was that hit me by surprise.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you got to listen to your elders. And if they say to you, that's trouble, don't touch the stove, your hand might burn, trust me, don't do it, man. Because when he ended up doing what he did the night before and then the morning after, the look them two gave it when they saw him come out of the trailer, I was like, oh, if the Walk of Shame had a face, it's you two there.
Yeah.
That was funny. Even the you was like,
Palmer?
You know, it was funny, yeah, because I wasn't even sure if that's who he drew. And
Me neither,
like,
until the end.
Yeah.
I didn't call that until the end.
I was like, that was...
When she said it,
random.
I was like,
yeah.
raw.
Oh, no, I realised before
Oh,
then.
I didn't know.
I just didn't realise at the time.
Okay,
It was only when he stepped out and I was like, oh, is
but
that who he
again,
drew?
that is such a played out scenario where there's a lone he or she at the bar.
Yeah.
Stranger comes along. Hey, I ain't seen you around here
Everything
before.
was
Like, hey, handsome.
Yeah, what's your plans for the rest of the night? And it cuts to the someone's up in the air getting wooded. Yeah.
I was like, oh, you have been in prison, huh?
It's like, and I ain't had sex for 12 years.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
You don't like women? Fine. We want girls? Cool. Oh, this is what's happening. It was just so like...
You know what? As you say that and we say that, they could have done a bit more with that synopsis.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they'd even, because I'm sure I've read in a synopsis, not that one, but like he was in jail for 12 years, he comes out, boom, boom, boom. They could have done a bit more with that, but yeah, let's.
But also the bar scene, like my bar for the bar scene now relates back to in the Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds and
okay,
Mum. For me, that so far this year, that's the bar for bar scenes. It's like that's the bar.
Yeah.
So that was cool. It was so obvious, the whole, can I have this? And he's like, no, not yet. You're not at that level yet. And then in the movie, he's like, I've got something for you.
Bro,
everything.
Get
out of here, man.
You know what this was like? You know when you jump online, right? And like you want to write a business plan, and you got the template, and you're just filling in. Like they've got the questions or whatever for you. All you have to do is replace it with your information. That was what this film was a bit like.
It was very safe. Like it played it very safe. It stuck to all the rules. It stuck to all the beats of a movie that you have to hit. Oh, we got to be upset this time.
Which was very interesting given the wild card.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I thought that would have been the reason why it wouldn't have been safe. Like, but I mean, smartly for them, if that was their approach, they managed to touch on a subject matter.
They kept at it. It not because at one point I was like, all right, he's probably gonna try and switch up what was happening.
But they didn't.
And he just kept with it. I was like, that's one of my chinks, is that he never tried to change.
But is that what they were going for? Was it a safe film? Because it was like they ticked all the boxes. They ticked the boxes.
Yeah.
And they tick boxes that people haven't ticked before, which is a dangerous box to tick if you don't get it right. Yeah. But they did it because they never really.
To be fair, I say it was safe, but as you said that, it wasn't a safe film, but it was though.
Everything that was safe.
They could have, but they could have.
They could have flipped
that bit. Should have made you wanted to jump in the screen, and move mad. Yeah. Like
hold on, what bit? Well, without saying, where are we in the film?
The bit where the boy comes home crying.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Like that bit should have. I didn't feel that bit. Like and you needed to, because that was kind of like a. That kind of like twisted the cap on. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
I weirdly think they introduced that bit wrong because of who you thought it was. Like who you thought it was, who he thought it was, and boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I think they weirdly introduced it, and then when you find it wasn't, it was like, okay, cool, shit, it wasn't them, but you already. Like it was weird. I think they introduced that wrong. I get what you're saying. I think they introduced it wrong. I feel like. It didn't hit properly, because even when he was like, oh, it wasn't kids. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. That needed to hit. You get me? When you found out and when you worked out that situation, that needed to clap you. Do you know what I mean? Like, no way. No way. Do you know what I'm saying? And you know why that didn't hit as well? Again, because I read a synopsis and it wasn't that. And it explained that he gets dragged back in by his previous life. Okay. So for a portion of the film, I was trying to work out,
where does this come from? Yeah.
So when that happened, it was a bit like, cool. Like that was. So it didn't. It hit even less because of that. You get me? Go on.
Shout out, Ryder Allen though for his acting. Yeah. Because
that's why I really wanted.
Yeah, he was good.
It's a weird one.
He was good. Like he played that role. maybe to perfection. Because there was a point until I started researching him. Yeah, I was still.
This is why I wanted to watch the interview.
I was still
like I was. Let me choose my words carefully. Yeah. But I was like, my question was answered when I finally saw like the interview with him and Justin Timberlake, like they were going back and forth. Like even just hearing him, you get me speak, the cadence, boom, boom, boom. I was like, all right, cool, boom. Great acting, you get me? It's like, boom. But I just needed, because it was so on point, I was like, okay, you know what it was like?
Maybe this is you.
Should I tell you? All right, this is perfect. You know why I really wanted to watch the interview? It's the same conversation that we have when we talk about would you let your child like act in a horror movie or whatever, or something like that. It's just, I don't even know if that was a better explanation, but it's like, I know what you mean. It's stepping into a world and a field that's not, and
at 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At that age, you know what kids are like. At that age,
7.
Exactly.
He could in real time experience what was shown in the movie.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There was a part in this that really I thought was like dope. Yeah, and it was the part where he's watching the TV show that he loves. And Justin says to him, do you see any boys on the show? And then he goes, no. And he goes, what do you think that says to you? And he goes, like, I could be the first. I was like,
you know what?
But that's what I'm saying.
I was like, yeah.
It was kind of lit in the way that's what I'm saying. They touched.
But not. It needed to go. You needed to lift up the manhole and dive in.
But did they? If that's not what they were trying to do,
they didn't. They didn't. It was too surface level. I feel like this was like, I don't know. I feel like this is something that someone who is a little scared of backlash would make.
But then why would you step into that realm if you are?
Because to hit a demo, to hit a story.
So did they do job then?
No, because They did, but they didn't. It wasn't enough. They could have hit. Say that.
I understand what Dan's saying. It
wasn't
felt
enough.
like this was their first movie they're making, and it's something close to home, and they want to do a movie based on that. But then it's like they don't want to kill their career from their first movie.
I don't think.
But let's give her one of that. Yeah, but they could have ticked that genre of boxes without ticking that box. That's a risky box.
I think
they went all the way with that box.
I think that they didn't display the life or the behavior of someone of what they would receive.
But could
real life. Like if that was in real life, a 7-year-old child like that, I feel there would have been a lot more happening than what we saw. A lot more happening than what we saw. And that's where I feel they let down. I feel like they should have really, really made the environment hostile. But do you know what I'm saying?
I get what man's saying. What do we know the ratings of this film? Well,
they're quite good. I think there was
sorry, not the ratings.
with 15. I'm not too sure, you know,
because I feel like that would have a part to play. Because I get what man's saying, but I feel like that's if they were gonna make it directed towards adults. I feel like this is a film that you can actually probably watch as a family, depending on the age groups of the children. And I feel like that's what they more tried to attack. You get me? I feel like they weirdly went with a Disney drama approach.
It says Palmer is rated R for language, nudity, and some violence, and is not kid friendly.
So R-rated.
R-rated, yeah. I was thinking that. But
so is that 18 or 15?
Yeah,
that's 18.
That's at the end.
Can't be at 18.
That's right at the end.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what it is over there. The
US was R-rated.
Yeah, because they rated Batman. What's it over here? Like you had to be.
Yeah, bro.
18 off, or was it 15?
Well, that's interesting. And that goes against what I'm thinking and what I'm saying. Because I would have thought this
wow,
felt like
nobody under 17 is allowed to watch. So yeah, it's an 18.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's an 18.
That's interesting.
I think
go on what you. Then I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
because if this, I would have thought this. I would have thought this was like a 12.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the one where a 12A? Where you can go if you go with your adult.
You can watch this at least with your young teenager, 13, 14. It will be like a good introduction in the way of like even breaking the ice of a conversation if you're in a situation
this is how certain things are worn. Get me?
And then because that's a good conversation to have
if this is an 18, I'm 100% behind. Like this should have been wild. Like this should have been wild.
They could have went deep with this then.
That point you raised, right? And thinking about it, you're right, because like I felt like he was very calm in the classroom, considering how he was. There was only that one youth.
He was wilding.
That was wilding towards him.
He wild at the church. I was like, yo.
Do you remember when Palmer saw what was happening on the playground?
Yeah. I thought that wasn't
a goes, hey, do you ever? Like I won't say what
I thought that was gonna be an issue.
Me as well. And it should have been.
Yeah,
it should have been. He definitely went home and told his mum. Like, there's no way that happened.
And I think that's why what happened, happened, but they didn't really break that down properly or whatever. Not. Yeah, I agree. They played it a bit too safe.
What's his name? What's the kid's name again?
Ryder.
All I thought of was Ryder. His quips were like this.
he was.
He didn't let you.
Ryder Allen.
I like the part. This was, the part you said about watching the TV.
Yeah.
The part that had that same effect on
the
me
bath.
was when that was a good part though.
When in the car.
No, when there's a few parts. Like,
There's a few parts.
I got a part afterwards. I want to choose a part.
When they was having dinner, and Grandma said,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Run it back.
Yes.
Run it back.
Yeah, that was
and
a
he
part.
was like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, run it back.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the next
Yeah,
line.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
like, Mrs.
Yeah.
I think you and I was like,
Yeah.
But he reminds me of Donnie from the Adam Project. I hope Hollywood puts them two together in a film. I don't know what film it's going to be.
Walker Scobell.
Yeah, them two have to do a film together because they was like that, man.
You know what? Because I was going to mention
bit?
that. When they're in the car and
she's talking.
Yeah, and she's telling him, and he's like, "But it's like, but I
close my ears."
Yeah. But I thought the relationship between the Gran and
him
and Sam was good. It was funny. It was really funny.
It was good.
They had with that. It was funny.
He was like an old man in a kid's body.
Yeah.
Like his quips and the way he would speak to her, and he's like, "Oh, you want me to do that?" And yeah, it was. He liked cookies, boy. My God,
This boy looked like cookie
Woo.
boy.
So I wanted to ask something. Yeah, me. Let's just walk the fine line real quick. Yeah, me. Yeah, me. We still young, so we can touch these. Yeah, me. We can be a bit risky. A bit risky.
More risky than Palmer. The movie.
I mean,
sorry. Hold on. Hold your trainer for 1 second. How obvious was it? Teacher.
Oh, yeah. That's
what I'm saying. Everything was a filling. Everything was a filling.
She fired though.
Yeah.
She fired though.
Teach me.
Do you know what? It was sick when she was like, when man was coming in. You know them bait ones? It was like, yeah, he's down. She says, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You tired?
And he was like, thankfully, he didn't delay. Like, he's like, no.
Are you tired?
No.
Like, all right.
We're
getting dick tonight. R.I.P.
Them draws coming out. Draws.
What was you saying?
I was going to say, is this a challenging situation? Was it a challenging situation for old Palmer? Like what he was left to do and handle?
Of course, man. It's fucking difficult, bro.
Yeah. And then when he got the news of...
But wait. I'm not talking about the situation of what happened and what he's left with. I meant his relationship with the boy and how... Yeah, the boy was...
Bro, that could have easily looked like a little grooming kind of situation.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about him being fresh out and probably... Like, he was in for 12 years. The world's changed in 12 years. And that was what was interesting for me, because I can imagine you being gone for like 12 years and you coming out and it's 2022 and whatever's happening now wasn't happening 12 years ago. And like what we're privy to, how people are, is different. And I'm saying like that was a super challenging...
Yeah, but he was struggling. He was struggling right up until...
And you knew he wasn't even really on it at the start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you could tell he had a good heart.
I guess I'm trying to find the question is, was it understandable that he was the way he was going into it like that.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
think so,
situation,
especially
or
fresh
should he
out.
have been super open from the get-go? I think
nah.
I shot him some bell, but the 12 years,
I think
being
most
inside for
man,
12 years.
I think most man would find it difficult to be like, okay, you probably get used to it because, and especially as well because he was very charismatic. That boy, he was mad lovable.
Shy. He wasn't shy neither.
He was mad lovable, and you know what?
I think that made it better.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Yeah, you see some people. Yeah, oh, shit, I don't even know. Fucking, you know, like
risky.
You know, like
jump in all the way in.
hold on. You know, like.
That double touch on the road.
Yeah, that's like Chris Brown, boy, and Usher in the verses.
You know, like when people in that type of world, sometimes they don't drop all the way in because they're nervous or whatever, and they don't know how they're gonna be taken and this, that. So they're a little. What's the word? They're a little shook. I can't think of the fucking dictionary word. They're shook. So they don't really think. But my man knew who he was.
Yeah.
He knew
From
who he
early.
was. From early. He was
early.
content with who he
That's
was.
why it goes back to what you were saying with the TV situation or whatever.
Yeah. He
it's
was
whatever.
happy. He
It's
was
like
happy with
whatever,
who he was. You get
and
me?
that's what even the situation that happened when he come running home, why it probably was worse for him because he was cool where in his surroundings. It's just like, I can't do nothing about that though. That's
too fucked.
Yeah. These man.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. So if you've got that situation, I think it's easier to handle than someone who don't really know what's going on, but they are there, but you can see it. That must be difficult. Like when you say like, do this and then like,
because the realness is in this situation, all you had to do was be cool.
Yeah,
like, I'm being me. Like just be cool with me.
He was blessed.
Yeah,
like he didn't.
Like you don't have to show me how to be me.
Yeah,
I'm me.
exactly.
Just be cool with
That's
it.
what
Kind
I'm
of
saying.
vibe.
Even with like the little head thing. It was just like, man, remember that. And I think his behavior and how he was helped the situation. It eased it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It just felt like he was like this is who I am. Deal with it. Yeah. And let's move on.
Exactly.
But it's the reasons why we say as well, within the first 2-3 minutes, you know kind of where this film's kind of going, because you can't even see that in the first kind of 2-3 minutes. But I say that more because I saw the trailer. Yeah. But like, I got that in the first 2 minutes.
But you know, like again. You know, like
I ain't like this rope, boy.
Yeah, but
like
you know,
to walk
like,
a tight rope, but
I feel like this is why there's some loggerheads when it comes to people who aren't like that and people who are like that, because there's some people who are like that who try and force it upon you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very like onto you like this, that, and then if you don't agree with something, you're right. You get me?
And then
when you're like that,
What
can a man say? Like you do your thing. If you want to do that, like we're good. You get me?
And it's real. It's literally just goes back to just be you.
Like, don't worry about me. Like as long as I'm
worrying about
do you know what I'm saying?
This,
do you? And that is yo.
Especially that scene where they bought the thing.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene.
And he was walking out, and then that woman who seemed to have a chip on her shoulder for Palmer said what she said, and he was like, and he walked off.
Oh, that
and then he jumped back in, and he's like, and I was like,
she was a
that's
proper
who he
Karen.
Is.
Yeah.
But you know what? That bit was sick as well when he walked out the shop and he's like, I'm doing a good job, right? He said, very good. Anyway, let's get to it. Is it a watch it? Just sorry, Drizzy.
Yeah, 100%. Even though it was very telegraphed and you could kind of pinpoint what's going to happen in the end, but there's certain chinks in the road that made you go, oh. And then I was so happy for him at the end when he finally got that thing from the janitor. I was so happy for him, man.
Okay, I thought
it was about something else.
Yo, bruv. Like it was just like, oh, guess what I've got for you? I was like, come on, man. That's what his life goal. But anyway, so watch it, 100%.
Yeah. This was a watch it. This was good. This was good. I didn't know what to expect from it, but it was a good watch, and it's true. There was no plot twist. Like, you're not gonna be surprised by anything. Like, watching the film, once you're in it, you're in it. But it's a good wholesome watch. It's a feel good film. I think one of the heartwarming moments was
there was a lot as
near the end running
back of the
after the
police.
yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
shit.
That was like that usual shit where it's like,
Shit.
you know, when your biologicals ain't shit, and it's like you had that
Do you
much
know-
more love for elsewhere.
Do you know
was
why
them
that?
moments,
Do you
you
know
get me?
why that part hit so well?
Yeah.
because it went on for so long.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, please.
Yeah.
like,
Come
I'm
on, wrap it
beg,
up,
bro.
wrap it
Yeah,
up.
come on,
Yeah.
man,
Come
change the scene, bro. Please, bro. Like,
shit
you
in the
gonna
fuck
scheme
thing.
again?
Yeah.
Oh man,
He keeping up with the whip.
Yeah, come on.
Man, allow it.
Oh, driver, put your foot down,
Bro,
please.
if I was him, I'd be like, bro, like, come,
You're kidding
it's
me.
emotional, but you're killing me, man.
It's like that was in cruise control. innit?
Bro, oh my gosh.
Even the. Oh no, go on. So you're gonna say? 'Cause-
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah, it's a
gonna
watch
say,
it. It's
I
a
was
watch
like,
it. It's a watch
Yeah.
it.
It's definitely a watch it. I think, and you know what? Yeah, why it did. I'm gonna link this back to the beginning of the show where we're talking about Netflix. Yeah, bro, I don't see films like this on Netflix regularly. I don't see films of this quality.
And they
Let me
could.
tell you something. Let me
And
tell you
they
something.
could.
Yeah. How many films have we watched on Apple? Yeah, how many things we watched on Apple? We've watched.
Apple's hitting, man.
Coda.
We've watched Coda.
Which one?
Which Oscar? Yeah, we watched Tragedy of Macbeth, which we liked. Yeah,
Swan Song.
Swan Song. Yeah, we watched this now. Yeah, the only thing we haven't liked off thing is Dr. Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I say those 4 movies that we watched banged, like it
Yeah.
weren't like they weren't
And-
like
And at least I could say 2 out of the 4, which is Coda and this one, are simple storylines. There's
Yeah.
nothing like no super special
yeah,
effects.
yeah.
There ain't no like Justin Timberlake done well in this, but you could get an actor if you've got a lower budget to pull it off this sort of film. Like there wasn't like it's not that deep. I don't think like they got. Like, I don't want to disrespect the writers and whatever,
but
but
no,
it's
the same,
something
yeah.
you could pull off. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a story. It's basic. You can pull this from someone's real life situation. So yeah.
And you say that, right? I was gonna say it earlier, but now you brought it back full circle. I think Apple TV on a whole is slept on. In the whole conversation of streaming services, I think Apple TV, and it's still the cheapest one out of all of them.
You know what? You know,
I think it's slept on, bro.
You know what I got to say against that though? Is to say I've said this before though. It's not that I don't think Apple are promoting themselves well. I don't think they want to. Like Apple are still very in their community and they're surviving just off. Like if you're in a community which they have a large enough number of, like if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But they're not doing like they've got 1 or 2 posters about you might catch it on the side of the bus, but you're not really hearing the promo like you normally when like a certain film on other these platforms drop. Like when Amazon drop a big thing, you know about it. When they drop the Borat and the Coming to America, you know about all of that shit, bro. If Coda wasn't really up for Oscar and it got Oscar, but before, like you have to be known before you get the Oscar or whatever. Not, you get me? So I'm saying they're doing. I think they're doing a purposefully job not to put out their content like that, and I don't know why. But I think it might be.
I think it's because they've
creating
got
a
they're
cult
cooking,
following.
and then they're just gonna go to all the streaming services and just drop a bag
bomb,
of things, bro.
bro. Apple are they're
got
releasing
bottom piss of money as
quality as well. That's what they're
Over
releasing.
quantity.
This over quantity. Netflix, you can find like anything. Apple, they're releasing quality.
But let's
like,
be honest.
quality movies.
Let's be honest. Some of the best content on Netflix is not even Netflix owned. Like, I'm excluding the Ozarks and the String thing. A lot of the stuff they had, which banged, the people that created them was like, we need that back because we've got our own streaming services now. You know, like every 10,000 movies they drop in a year, 5 of them are
to
good.
say that as well though, like, and this is where probably Apple's quite smart, but we don't really know. Like, that could be the same flex with what Apple's doing, but they've just patterned up better. You hear me? They just patterned their coup better. Like, when Netflix are just putting anyone's content or whatever, you should have patterned a better deal so you can make some bread off the back end. I bet you Apple, some of these films might already be a film, and Apple's just tagging a name on, you hear me?
But Apple dropping movies that you could go in the cinema and watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's no surprise that a lot of their stuff's getting Oscar buzz, and Tragedy of Macbeth. Denzel was up for that as best actor.
I think the last cinema watch, which it fairly is recent, but I couldn't think of something before then, is the Adam Project. Like, I would have watched that in the cinema. I can
Adam
see
Project
that
was
dropping
good.
in the
But
cinema.
again, Netflix paid to have that. It's not like they thought of that idea and they
No,
executed
but I'm
it.
saying Apple.
Yeah, but
could
neither's
be doing
Apple.
that, though.
Neither's
Yeah,
Apple, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Apple ain't thinking of that
that's what I'm
idea.
saying.
They're just,
no,
But it's just that Apple's patterning up.
yeah,
that.
patting it up proper. It's like it's like out of 10, Netflix are taking 10, and Apple are like, actually, I like yours, and your story, so we'll
I'll
take
take
yours and we'll
3.
leave
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
But yeah, all right, cool.